Yo, why are these two having a stare down? I'm just the delivery man. Oh my god. It was a pretty interesting episode. The relationships between our main characters are definitely growing. For Dana and Yeong Hwa, they're in an argument right now, but their relationship is definitely growing. Miju and Seon Gyeom, they're finally dating. It took 10 episodes, but they're finally dating. Now, at the beginning of this episode, we see more of the argument between Dana and Yeong Hwa. Yeong Hwa is pissed, being treated not as a human being, being treated as a vending machine, and he's pissed, and I don't blame him. For Dana, we know how much of a strong woman she is. We know how sarcastic she can be, and she does use that as like a shield to hide how she feels. And she kept her cool throughout the entire argument. I'm like, damn, what a strong woman she is. And she ended the argument by saying, now you know what's in a business transaction. I hope you learned from it. And I'm like, again, damn, a strong woman. She kept her cool until she walked outside and started screaming. I'm like, there it is. What's funny is that Yeong Hwa is definitely in her head. I'm not saying that Yeong Hwa was doing all this just to play around with her, to mess with her. Like, how he's feeling is pretty real, and he didn't like how she was treating him. But again, he's in her head. She can't sleep. She can't think clearly. So she just headed off to Miju's house, started drinking with her. To Miju's surprise, she didn't even expect all of this happening. The only thing she expected was her food being delivered. Now, speaking of the food being delivered, I love the stare down between her and the delivery guy. It was just like staring at each other. The guy delivering the food, he was so confused. The Dana was like, did you make an appointment with the owner? I'm like, I'm just the delivery guy. Oh my god, that was so hilarious. I love that. I think this is the episode where Dana is starting to like Yeong Hwa. Because right after 2-3 shots of soju and while Miju was texting Seon Gyeom, she was talking to herself and saying, if I want something forever. And it's the same feeling she had, just like soccer. So maybe, yeah, I think she's starting to like Yeong Hwa. Now for Miju's and Seon Gyeom's relationship, I'm glad that they're starting dating now. And I see why their relationship didn't develop. Because there were many, many opportunities for them to start dating. So Miju, she was scared to express how she felt about him. And she was waiting for him to do it first. But for Seon Gyeom's point of view, he knew how he felt about her. He likes her. But he was afraid that she might not feel the same way. So right after Miju freaks out, having her little... It just reminds me of a high school drama, how she's freaking out about calling, texting, and all of that. There was one point where she called him, and instead of talking about her feelings, she talked about the honey that he left behind. But anyway, in the end, they decide to meet up. They met up at a park. Seon Gyeom watched a movie called Jerry Maguire. He said it wasn't fun, but he did express how the movie really related to him, how the main character, he didn't understand the situation that he was in and didn't understand the failures in life. And the only person he was hurting was the only person that stuck by his side, and it was too late because he realized how much value that the other person had. And again, it really did relate it to him because now he realized the value of Miju. And then that beautiful kiss scene, and now they started dating. Now for Ushik, when I saw him meet up with the coach, I'm like, oh snap, what's gonna happen? So it looks like that those two were going to sign a transfer of agreement if there is a team that wants to sign him. But the coach, he's still acting like an asshole. He keeps telling Ushik, you should have kept quiet. Look at the position you're in. And I don't want to see a talent like you go to waste. At such a young age too. And I'm like, man, this guy just won't stop being an asshole. But I understand where he's coming from though. But in the end, well, here's the thing. They didn't really say that he signed it or not, but I guess it's implied towards the last scene where he saw Seon Gyeom and started running away and they have their moment. So Ushik did decide to quit running. He said that the track isn't the problem, it was him. You know, when it runs, it hurts. But in the end, Seon Gyeom really tried to motivate him, saying that, you know, you should run again. And if it doesn't work, then quit. And I'm gonna be that guy to help you. And yo, that was a great motivational scene right there. With all the relationship scenes in this episode, I think it was an awesome way to have something motivated, you know? I'll say that the two most funniest scenes was right after the argument between Yeong Hwa and Dana. He was trying to text her to try to get the money back. I'm like, after that situation, I don't think it's the right time to get the money back. But eventually he did get the money back. And another funny scene was seeing both the dads in the comic book store, feet up, no shoes, reading books. Manga, to be exact, but that was pretty hilarious. And before that last scene ended, Seon Gyeom's dad was like, will the ramen be ready? I'm like, yo, that is a funny ass scene. As much as I don't like these two as characters because of how the characters are. No, props to the actors though. The actors are doing a good job. But their characters, I just don't like it. But anyway, if you guys like my review, leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe. See ya.